Wake up, people, I'm exhausted, and today we are going to be doing a different kind of video. So, if you guys know me, and you guys have seen a couple of my videos, I've played a few survival games in the past, and quite honestly, I'm actually amazing at them, and I have never died ever in a video game ever, and you guys know this, you've seen my channel, I've never died before in any game, but I love survival games. They're my favorite genre of games, whether it be Minecraft, whether it be other ones that are survival based, like 7 Days to Die. That was a lot of fun. I've played that in the past. Maybe I'll play that on the channel sometime, but like, I love survival games, I love zombie games and things like that. But today I'm taking the ultimate survival skills quiz to see if I could survive something or whatever. But what's the most important thing you need to survive in the wild? Obviously, you need... This is a tough one, because you do need food and water, but you also need warmth, but it depends. Because what if you're surviving somewhere warm? So I'm gonna go with warmth. Okay, so that's what you don't want to choose. The human body needs a minimum of 2 quarts, 1.9 liters of water per day for good health. 1 day without water is cause for serious concern, and 3 days without water will lead to almost certain death. So yeah, don't worry about warmth. If you're trying to survive in Antarctica, don't worry about the warmth, just start drinking the snow. So if you're looking for insects to eat, which ones should you avoid? Big ones, ugly ones, or bright ones? I'm gonna say bright ones, because I don't know. Ugliness is subjective, especially in survival situations, so I'm gonna go bright ones. Correct. Although most insects are edible, a good rule of thumb is to steer clear of brightly colored ones, as well as those are hairy or pungent. It's a good idea to build yourself a shelter near what? Cliffs? Dry riverbeds? A water source. I mean, the side of a cliff would be good for zombies because they can't really climb up cliffs very well unless these are World War Z zombies, and I don't know if this quiz is including zombies in this universe. Yes! Staying near a source of water is a good idea when building a shelter. Insect larvae, or larvae, contains a lot of protein. Where are the best places to find these eggs and insects? Moist areas under rocks attached to the insects or animal droppings. Do not go fishing around through animal doo-doo. So I'm gonna say moist areas under rocks. Yes. Insect eggs can be found under most areas under rocks and inside rotten tree logs or stumps. Also, just ignore all these ads on the side. This is just an online quiz. Why should you try to avoid sleeping directly on the ground? To avoid bugs? No, because earlier, if you recall, bugs are good to eat. Even the ugly ones. So, to eliminate the risk of contracting diseases, to keep the body from losing heat. I'm gonna say to keep the body from losing heat. Yes, dude, we are doing so good. We only got one wrong, and that was just a baseline question for you guys based on what you would choose, not what I would choose. So, sleeping on the ground can lead to loss of body heat. You'll retain more warmth by piling grass or pine needles on the ground to sleep on. So what type of food or beverages should you avoid, in all caps, in case of hypothermia? Oh, alcohol. I heard that, like, okay, so when I was younger and I was in high school, I'm no longer in high school, I have graduated, but somebody suggested that you drink alcohol when you're cold because alcohol makes you feel warm. But alcohol goes in your body at the same temperature, you know, I mean, it's not like it's hotter than water, and it's gonna be just as cold, and it's gonna make you feel warm, but you're gonna be cold, and you'll die. So you do not want to have caffeine, because that's gonna get your blood a-pumping and circulating. Actually, don't you want circulation? Caffeine. Warm, sweet liquids such as hot chocolate will give the body energy to produce heat. Proteins, fats, and carbohydrates such as trail mix can stimulate the metabolism. Caffeine is not good because it actually draws body heat to the extremities and away from the core. That's what I meant. That's kind of what I was trying to say. I'm not making a joke. I mean, I kind of am, but that's kind of what I meant. You don't want your extremities to be warm ever. You only want your core. Your core is the most important part of your body. And if your core dies, you die. Remember that. Keep that in mind. Why should you melt snow or ice before drinking it? Because it has to be liquid, obviously. You can only drink liquids. To avoid cutting your mouth on sharp ice, to avoid dehydration, to avoid brain freeze. It's not to avoid dehydration, because you can eat the. So I'm just gonna say it's what? Eating frozen snow and ice will reduce your core body temperature and lead to dehydration. What? What? Which of these wild berries are safe when ripe and cooked, but can cause nausea when eaten off the bush? Golden currants, elderberries, and raspberries? So, safe when ripe and cooked, but can cause nausea when eaten off the bush? I have never heard of these two berries up here, the golden currants and the elderberries. Elderberries? Yo! I was only kidding, I had heard of elderberries. Elderberries, obviously also known as Sambucus canecacemus Christmas, contain poisons like cyanogenic glycoside, which can cause nausea and vomiting. Okay, but you can eat them. You'll just puke and stuff. That's fine. So, how can you determine the distance from an oncoming storm? You hold your little thumb out like this, you hold out your thumbs like this, and you look and see like, that's about a thumb away, and if it's a thumb away, you should be safe for a little while. How are you gonna get an accurate measure of a lightning bolt? That's when you gotta hold the ruler out and wait for that flash of lightning to come by. Just wait for that flash and hope you get a good reading. I don't know how you're gonna measure a lightning bolt. Count the number of seconds between flashes and claps and divide this number by 5 to estimate how many miles away an approaching storm is. I never learned the whole dividing the number by 5. An insect diet can actually save your life by providing you with which of these most needed bodily sources of energy? Protein, baby. What do lush vegetation... I really messed up that word, but what do lush vegetation and swarming insects often indicate? Dead animals. Oh. Which symptom determines if you are experiencing severe dehydration? Dry mouth, rapid heartbeat, vomiting, and diarrhea. So I don't think you'd be vomiting or diarrheaing because there's not enough liquid for the diarrheaing and the vomiting. So I'm going to assume dry mouth. Okay, it was. What? Where are you getting the water to diarrhea? Dry mouth and rapid heartbeat is a sign for moderate dehydration. So it doesn't, oh, okay, it does say severe. Using this simple snare, how would you measure the size of the noose? What? I'm gonna say 1.5 times the size of the animal's foot. Double the size of the animal's foot, because you're gonna catch it by its foot. No, you're not. When attempting to catch dinner using the simple snare, it is best to tie the noose at 1.5 times of your prey's head. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I just thought you'd be catching it by the foot and not by its head. Which symptom below does not indicate hypothermia? Stiff joints, cough, or loss of bladder control, and I just pissed myself. I'm gonna say it has to be loss of bladder control, because in the movies, when the guys are out in the cold, they're all stiff like this, and they're going, I'm so cold. So it's gotta be the loss of bladder. Okay, it's a cough. What feature of the snake is used to determine if the snake is venomous? Oh no. Oh no. I know this. I just watched a whole bunch of Coyote Peterson videos on snakes. So, what feature of the snake is used to determine the snake is venomous? His tail. No, his eyes. I would survive. I don't care. Which insect is the most popular edible insect in the world? A grasshopper? If you're facing the sun at noon in the northern hemisphere of the globe, walking toward it will take you in what direction? So, the sun, obviously everyone knows, rises in either the east or the west. I don't remember. It rises in the east, and it sets in the west, obviously. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, obviously, take south. Yeah, baby. Walking directly toward the sun at noon takes you south. How do you know when the bright side of the moon is in the west? By looking at it. When the moon is full? When the moon rises before sunset? What? When the moon rises after midnight. I always just thought the moon was out. I just thought, you know, when nighttime was upon us, the moon was out and about. Okay, it's not when the moon is full. Which of the following isn't a method used to start a fire without a match? Okay. So I've started a bunch of fires in my day. I've moved around a lot as well. Those are not related incidents, but the soda can and chocolate method. Now, I have never heard of this method, but if I were to guess how it works, chocolate in a can, chocolate in a can. The animal dung method. Jeez. These two, I don't know what the, like, why would animal poop be flammable? I'm gonna say the animal poop method. Okay, very cool. So correct answer, a battery, a magnifying lens, and even a soda can with chocolate can be used to produce. Can you tell me how the chocolate one works though? Why are you just gonna say like even a soda can and a piece of chocolate will cause your house to burn down? So keep those things apart in your kitchen. No, what? I don't understand. How is that supposed to work? Which of the following does not provide clues to help orient you toward true north? Anthills. What? What in anthill? So. Oh no. 50%, you're almost an expert, but not quite. I am definitely an expert. The average score is 63. You got 10 correct out of 20. You scored better than 16% of quiz takers. So, I might not survive in the wild. Listen, I have lived pampered my whole life in this beautiful home, but I would not survive if you placed me out in the wild, I guess. Yes, I would. I got the important ones right. I got the important ones right. So what if I don't know which direction an anthill is facing when you're on the southern hemisphere? And who cares if I didn't know you can start a fire with a chocolate bar inside of a can on a windy day, but don't eat an elderberry unless you want to get sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys think that you could survive out in the wild, take this quiz and find out for yourself. Well, actually, you know all the answers, so take a different quiz and find out for yourself. And let me know down in the comments if you would be able to survive out in the wild forever. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know down in the comments, and also just go ahead and like it if you want to. Also, if you want to see my content every Tuesday and Friday at 4 p.m., consider subscribing. Have a great rest of your night. Get some rest.